Hi everyone! In today's video we're looking at the new YSL Holiday Collection, in which I had to go all the way to France to take a look at it in person, so watch on! My lovely friend and I had planned a day trip to Lille in France, which is quite easy to get to from London because it's only an hour 20 on the Eurostar. So we got there and immediately headed to Sephora because, you know, why not? I know it's a sort of city that's very cultural. It's kind of on the border of France. It's in France, but it's on the border with Belgium. So there's lots of kind of Franco-Flemish architecture to admire. There's a lovely art gallery. There's lots of things to do. What did we do? Go to Sephora first. Okay, this is why we're friends. Anyway, my point is that the YSL Holiday Collection was just sitting there, and it was too good an opportunity not to film. So you will see that in a minute with the swatches and sort of all of that. I have to say, when I saw it, I was kind of filled with frustration, and I kind of sense I'm sort of not alone, in the sense that we get the kind of releases from YSL and other brands telling us that there are sort of holiday collections, and then we get dribs and drabs if we get them at all. And it did occur to me, it's a bit like if I invite you for Christmas lunch, and we're all sitting around the table and we've got our, you know, Santa hats on. I mean, I tend to wear those little bobble things, you know, with kind of either LED or kind of sparkly things. But anyway, but we're all, you know, ready, and I'm serving lunch. I would not say to you, here's the turkey, but the vegetables are in France and the roast potatoes are in the US. And, oh, did you say you're from Canada? You're not getting anything at all. I mean, I know other countries and other regions are available. I think the point that I'm making is, who's going to jet set around the world to kind of collect bits and pieces? At the time of filming this, we have got a few of the lip products, but not much else in the UK, for example. So I just find it really annoying and not in the holiday spirit at all, which should be all about plenty, shouldn't it? Not frustration. But anyway, you'll be able to see what the range looked like. And again, that's kind of most of the range. There was an interesting gap, and we are going to work out what that gap is, or we're going to try and work out what that gap is. At any rate, the footage you're going to see is in Sephora in Lille, which is actually in one of the Westfield shopping centres. So it was a nice one, and it was sort of quite big. And I have to say, the shop assistants were super duper helpful. But take a look and then you'll see what I bought. The YSL Holiday Collection comprises of 1 limited edition quad and 5 limited edition lip shades. As you can see, when you look at Dua Lipa, doesn't look like she could get them either, because she's actually holding one of the permanent collection lip plumping glosses. So that didn't fill me with confidence. But anyway, let's look at the swatches. Take a look at the eyeshadows in the beautiful limited edition golden packaging. Really lovely. Once you see the swatches, you'll be able to see this is very much an easy brown, neutral, easy to wear colour story with a really lovely topper that is shot through with pinky, peachy, golden tones. Really very nice, very easy to wear. There's a lovely matte in the top right, and then we've got a burnished bronze and a soft gold. Very, very nice. Won't scare the horses. There are 3 limited edition Loveshine Candy Glaze collector shades for the holidays. As you can see here from the swatches, the 3 of them are completely different. At the top, you'll see number 21, which is a shimmery nude shade, number 22, which is a shimmery rose shade, and then the lovely rich reddish pinkish shade, which is number 218. Really lovely, very, very shimmery indeed. And to complete the holiday collection, there are 2 Loveshine plumping lip oils. As you can see here on the left, there is Sparkling Dream number 100, and on the right, we've got Honeymoon, which is number 12. And that is the entire colour story of the YSL Holiday Collection. It really is rather lovely, very, very sparkly, but it's not chunky. It is lovely. Even those eyeshadows are sort of soft and subtle. Beautiful. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. So the question is, what did I buy? The eyeshadow quad I thought was really lovely, particularly the topper shade, or in fact, not so much particularly the topper shade, only the topper shade, because the other shades I've pretty much got. I know the packaging is absolutely lovely and I can completely understand why anybody would want that. It's just beautiful. It's very, very desirable. I didn't go for it. I didn't think for me it was worth the money when just on my desk here I've got the Dolce & Gabbana, which is what I've got on at the moment, which is the Amber Venus. I've got the Hourglass, which is the Curator palette, which I've got in Expressionist, which is also sort of slightly pinky peachy and really blendable and really lovely. So I didn't go for the eyeshadows. I'd have only been buying it for the packaging, and I've kind of, you know, I suppose in a way it's taken so long for it to finally arrive in my life anyway, and certainly it's not even in this country yet, that, you know, I've lost interest from that point of view. In terms of the lipsticks, in a way, I kind of feel this whole range should be dubbed the Miss Marple range, because there were too many mysteries. Now, you may have noticed that there was a gap in the display next to the quad, and that was basically, even though the essays had not seen sight of the product, didn't have a price, it was basically the slim holiday version of the lip pencil, the lip products, and it's actually in 1936 Fiery Eva, but as I said, they didn't have it in stock. They also didn't have actually in stock in terms of the product itself. The third Candy Glaze lipstick, which is one I really wanted to buy actually, that we now know is Vibrant Raspberry, and that is available in the States. So I bought the two beautiful, lovely lip plumping glosses, which I absolutely adore. And then I also bought Shimmer Rose in the Candy Glaze Loveshine. My one seems to be a bit arthritic. Listen. It is going up. I mean, it needs some help, really. But it does feel a bit clicky. Anyway, given the distance that Lille is, I'm not going back to get it changed. It's fine. It's more than fine. I adore it. I didn't buy the Shimmer Nude because I have made this mistake before. And on my lips, I look sort of slightly ghostly or just, you know, it's just not a very good look for me. These days, I'm not going for the autopsy vibe, but so I eschewed that. So I want to show you these lip products in daylight to see what they look like, because they're actually rather exciting. Now, I'm in daylight, as you can see, sponsored by the Tourist Board for Great Britain, because look at the sunshine that we're having. It's not normally like this. Don't be fooled. I wanted to show you the shades in daylight because holiday season notwithstanding, a lot of the time I think we're going to be wearing them in daylight. So to that end, I am wearing, what am I wearing? I am wearing Sparkling Dream. What number is this? Yeah, this one. Oh, look at that. Can you see? It's very, very sparkly. That's what I've got on my lips with a nude liner. I think it's really nice, very wearable, bit of sparkle, but it's not, you know, we're not in RuPaul territory. I'm not saying I don't like being in RuPaul territory, I'm just sort of commenting. Anyway, let me show you the swatches. So these are the three that I've bought. I know that you will see this one. I'll talk you through it. So this is Sparkling Dream that I'm wearing. So that's the gloss. The other gloss is Honeymoon, which I'm slightly bananas about. I think it's great. This is the Candy Glaze in, what's it called? Shimmer Rose. And this, just so you can see, is the Candy Glaze, so it's Shimmer Rose, but it is one swipe. So I built up Shimmer Rose for like a swatch purpose, but it's actually more sheer. I have to say I love them all. Now, you'll remember that when I was showing you the swatches that I made in store in Sephora in France, in Lille, there was a lovely Candy Glaze, which was kind of reddy goldy, and that was out of stock. So sure I'd be able to purchase it, and I can't find it anywhere. However, I have an alternative. I've just realised that my jumper sort of matches the cushion in the background, and I know, you've got me. This is exactly how we live our life in this home. Everybody changes their clothes according to the room that they're in. So, you know, that's it. It's just a little eccentricity of ours. Anyway, so as I said, I have got Sparkling Dream on my lips. I'm going to go away and show you now the other two products on my lips in daylight, And then I will show you my cheeky little workaround for the other candy glaze that I couldn't buy. It got so sunny that I thought I'd bring you to my bathroom. So this is Honeymoon. Looks like this. Just, you know, I really like these. Now, remember, these are the plumping glosses, so they may or may not be your thing. I don't notice them. I notice a slight tingle, but I wouldn't say I notice it every single time. So I am generally quite insensitive. So, you know, who knows, maybe it's that. But yeah, it doesn't bother me, but I am just reminding you that that's what they're like. And honestly, I don't know whether people talk about this enough. These are quite long lasting. They're not the kind of glosses that kind of disappear after half an hour. They do kind of stick around, you know. Right, onto the candy glaze. And here's the candy glaze in Shimmer Rose. Again, just a neutral liner. These are very usable colours, aren't they? The other limited edition glosses that have been out recently are the Lisa Eldridge Sequin Suite. This gorgeous packaging. Someone said, wouldn't it be great if they came in a tin that we could keep? And that would just be so lovely. Like maybe a thin kind of tin, like the Hourglass ones. I know it would be more expensive. I'm just saying that the artwork is so lovely. At any rate, these are limited edition. I thought it was worth showing them to you. So here we've got Chameleon Chaos, Peekaboo Pink, and Kensington Plum. These are the three, all from the Lisa Eldridge. And beneath we have the two YSLs. So we've got Sparkling Dream over here. I was going to say Sparkling Cream. Sparkling Dream over here and Honeymoon. Quite different. Bear in mind the YSL are plumping and the Lisa Eldridge are not. The Lisa Eldridge have definitely got more pigment in. I think they're probably more sparkly. But as a result, much more sort of holiday, whereas I rather feel with the YSL, you'll definitely be able to use them. And I know I will, you know, in the new year, assuming I've not finished them. I just love this formula. So that's the comparison. I hope that's useful because you may have bought these three. They're all limited edition. The only difference is with the Lisa Eldridge, they're definitely a departure, aren't they, in terms of the depth and the sparkle. Now, next up, I would like to show you how I have managed to recreate I Rather Feel, the shade that I couldn't get. And again, as I said, I can't find. I don't understand why some of these ranges become so elusive. One imagines that they are in the business of trying to sell us stuff. And we can only buy what we can actually hold in our hot little hand, can't we? Or maybe I'm missing something. Maybe this whole AI thing has taken on a whole new dimension and I just don't really understand it. But, you know, I'm quite old-fashioned. I quite like to have something in my hot little hand and then give someone the money for it. I mean, you know, metaphorically, if nothing else. Anyway, I'm just going to show you that. Oh, good, the sun's gone behind a cloud. Oh, now I know who I am again. I'm not very good in the sunshine. Anyway, I will show you. I know it doesn't match my jumper, but, you know, for the purposes of demonstration. Okay, so this is Hyper Matte by Prada in Fuoco, which I only recently sort of bought and discovered, and I do really like it. However, I have added on top the Honeymoon to add a slight pinky sparkly dimension. And honestly, I think this is really very similar to the elusive Candy Glaze. So take a look. As I said, this is what this looks like, the Fuoco. Looks like that. And all I've done is put the gloss on top. And I think it works rather well, frankly. And I will be wearing this. I think this has brought a little bit more festivity to the proceedings, and why not? So it's the two together, Prada and YSL. You know when you get sort of a random stone, I mean, I'm at the top of the house, I'm quite high up. A random stone has sort of hit the window, that's a worry. Anyway, so we've got these two here, and that's what it looks like. I think it's rather nice. Neutral lip liner again. I'm a bit scared of a red lip liner. I saw the lovely Mariam, and she loves to use Lisa Eldridge's ribbon. And actually, I am kind of thinking maybe I need to invest in that, because firstly, it looks terrific on her. And secondly, I would like it to look terrific on me. Anyway, yeah. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I've got one more lipstick that I'd like to try, and that is one that we've just not become the kind of best friends I thought we would become. And it's kind of sitting in my drawer or on my desk. I take it out and have a look at it, and I just think, why is it not working for me? I feel somewhat offended. So that's coming up next. Okay, I am wearing Hermès Rose Mauve. I always used to say Mauve, but now I realise people say Mauve. I had no idea. Anyway, looks like this, and it's new from the new collection, and I was quite excited, and I find it really boring, and I don't wear it. However, I have put Honeymoon on top and got this, and actually I really like it. I'm not saying or even recommending that you buy this in order to have this combination. All I'm saying is I feel a bit better because having spent the small fortune that these are, and also I know these are very much beloved, this range. This is one of the satins. I'm totally underwhelmed, and I don't think I'll be taking the plunge again, frankly. But Hermès and I have history. Oh yes. So a long time ago, I'm digressing now, forgive me. I think it was for my 30th birthday or thereabouts. It was for a birthday, and I think it was my 30th. We'd gone into the Hermès shop in London, and I had chosen a scarf because that was a period when I was just really enjoying wearing scarves. Anyway, it came to the point where it was my husband was buying the scarf. I should have said we were together, the two of us, and we got to the, they took us to the till, whatever, and there's, we're being helped by, what I thought was a friendly SA. I mean, she wasn't that friendly, but she was relatively friendly. Also, I was very young, so I was just great. I was at that stage of my life where I was just grateful for, someone actually taking me seriously for once in my life. Anyway, and what happened was my husband's card was refused. And clearly, were we married then? I think we might have been married. I can't remember. But anyway, clearly, it was love against the odds, because despite this, we stayed together. But anyway, and my husband kind of said, oh, don't worry, I've got another one. So he paid for the scarf. And then she said, oh, un moment. It was all very French and lovely. And she was kind of cute in a way, I suppose, in a kind of slightly stereotypical French way. In that I do remember she had this lovely, lovely little red lipstick and a kind of, a very natural look, and looked very chic. Anyway, she then disappeared, and in my fevered brain, I thought, oh, maybe we're going to get some exciting samples or something. No, she came back with the biggest pair of scissors I have ever seen, and probably you have ever seen. And I don't think anyone's seen a bigger pair of scissors. It was like this, And she took my husband's offending card from his hot little hand, took it and cut it in half, and then gave it back to him, which seemed rather unnecessary, but clearly, my dreams might have been fulfilled, because clearly I look like a gangster's mole, clearly. Although if he was a gangster, he'd have paid cash, wouldn't he? But anyway, so my point is, as you can probably tell, many years later, that memory is seared in my mind. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe all I'm doing actually is taking it out on this poor little lipstick, taking my Hermès resentment, because it really was an act of pettiness. There was literally no reason for her to behave so viciously, actually, because what were we going to do? Anyway, that's it. That's my Hermès story. My point is, I think my general point is, these are great, but they're also great on top of lipsticks, which isn't really a groundbreaking thing for me to say. I just thought it might be fun to have like a little kind of meander across my lipsticks. I do think, however, that the Prada lipstick is given a different lease of life. Not a new lease of life, because I love that shade, actually, even though I'm not a red person, as you may or may not know. But I do believe that with, again, Honeymoon on top, because it's got so much dimension, actually, then it is definitely given, you know, it gives it another kind of incarnation. And I suppose is it number 22? Makes it less painful that the candy glaze that wasn't in stock in Lille is not in my possession. I'm not even sure it's ever going to be in my possession. So yeah, let's see what happens. So there we have it. It does seem to me that the holiday releases in particular do tend to have a bit of a Scooby-Doo mystery element to them, in that we kind of never know when we're getting them. We're not sure how much we're going to get, who's getting what. It's all a bit mysterious. And sometimes I get a bit fed up because I kind of feel I'm no different to anybody else. We're all busy. We just want to buy stuff that we are excited about without having to work out and divine, you know, how long we have to wait, and in the meantime we might have bought something else, and so on. But anyway, I am absolutely delighted with the lip products that I've got. I've got no regrets at all. I just think they're absolutely lovely. I just think that YSL makes some of, if not the best, lip products on the market. They're just thrilling, and they're moisturizing, and they're forgiving on a mature or a dry lip. They're just wonderful. I'm just ecstatic. I want more and more and more from YSL, mysteries notwithstanding. So I really want to know if you already are in possession of products from the holiday collection, then let me know. How much are you enjoying them? What do you like? And do you think the packaging, say for example in the quads, is worth going for anyway, even if perhaps the quad is maybe not totally remarkable? I'm not saying it's not lovely. That sort of topper shade is really lovely. But is it that special? Is it worth spending all that money really for one particular shade? As I've said before, my kind of magic number in any kind of palette is 80%. As long as I'm using and loving 80% of it, I think it's a good purchase. But, you know, 1 out of 4 is not 80%. Even I know that. Anyway, do let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up so that Algernon, the algorithm, can find me and disseminate these videos to lots of other makeup lovers. I look forward to hearing from you down below, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.